Are you stuck at home but still want to improve your skills? It's totally possible, and after watching this video you are not going to have any excuses because I have an at-home soccer workout routine for you that you can use to improve your technical soccer skills, your physical fitness, your strength, your mobility, your confidence on the ball, and much more. What's up everybody, Dylan Tooby, Progressive Soccer. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before we get started with this at-home soccer workout routine, please take a second to subscribe to the Progressive Soccer YouTube channel. Hit that bell notification so you never miss a video. I'm releasing new soccer training videos every single week. Now, I started my home workout with some mobility exercises, and the first thing that I did was rotation. So starting from my neck, working all the way down to my ankles, focusing on warming up my joints. I just did about 3 rotations in each direction on each side, and I love doing this. Since I started doing this, I noticed a big difference in the way my body feels. So instead of just always focusing on muscles, give the joints a little attention as well. The next thing that I did was grab a lacrosse ball and do some self-massage. I'm focusing on my lower back and the top of my gluteus maximus. For me, that's a specific area that collects a lot of tension. Next, I moved into some foam rolling. And when you're doing foam rolling, I really want you to get away from, oh, I have to do 20 repetitions. Don't worry about the repetitions. Focus on the feeling. Focus on actually pushing tension out of the muscle. But I'm going from top to bottom, focusing on all the major muscle groups in my lower body. Are you still with me? Make sure you stick with me all the way to the end because I'm going to give you all the sets and repetitions as well as some key ideas to focus on so you can take your game to the next level. After finishing up with the foam rolling, I moved on to my yoga wheel. Now, I'm not expecting you guys to do this. You could use a soccer ball. The reason I do this is because I love getting that tension out of my lower back. For some reason, as you get older, for a lot of people, that is a major problem area. And this tool really helps me release that tension. But even if you did a back bridge, it would be extremely beneficial for your mobility and your lower back. Another one of my favorite exercises for mobility and releasing tension in the body is a weighted full squat. So I'm trying to sit in a full squat as deep as I can, focusing on getting my chest up, my butt down, my body between my legs rather than on top of them, really sitting in there and releasing the tension. So if you wanted to do my mobility warm-up, I started with joint rotations, working from my neck all the way to my ankles, did some self-massage with the lacrosse ball. Then I moved on to the foam roller. You could do 5 repetitions, but again, focus on releasing tension. Some you may have to give more attention than others. Then I did the weighted squat. Sit down there for 5-10 seconds, really focus on getting deeper each time, sitting into the stretch. Next, we moved on to ball mastery, some ball control and some dribbling, some fast footwork stuff. Started with some basic juggling. Just went for about 50 repetitions. Once you can get to 500, you don't have to spend too much time on basic juggling. But then I did some directional control, moving forward and backwards with the ball, actually learning to manipulate the ball in different directions. Once I completed that, I went on to some single foot exercises, starting with just some basic mini touches on both feet. As always, remember, we always practice with both feet. The reason I have 2 strong feet, I don't believe in a weak foot, number 1, and I always practice with both feet from the very beginning. So whatever level you're at, make sure that you're always practicing with both feet, especially when you're by yourself at home. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. No one's there watching you. You don't have to worry about getting embarrassed. Just worry about getting better. Next, I went into some foot stalls. I love practicing this, especially on your weaker foot. It really helps to develop the strength and flexibility and the mind muscle control in your weaker foot, which is going to help you with a lot of different techniques. So I did some stalls, just had a little bit of fun with the ball. Next, I moved into some fast footwork exercises, and I just did 3 exercises. The first one was just that basic box touches, you might call it, or a tic-tacs back and forth. The next was more of a croqueta touch, really taking a big touch, stopping, big touch. Think about the defender lunging in for it and you're quickly pushing it from one side to the other. After I finished the basic form of each exercise, then I did it with a little bit of directional control, just like we did with the juggling, practicing actually moving with purpose, moving forward and backwards with the ball. After I finished my dribbling exercises, I just did a little bit of passing. Now, it's not the best angle with the camera here, but I'm passing against the edge of a couch and maybe get a 50 to even 100 repetitions of just basic passing, switching, alternating feet, inside, outside of the foot, focusing on good foot contact, body over the ball, and strong ankle flexion. Next, I did a little bit of freestyle passing and receiving. So play a pass off the wall if you have one available or the back of your couch, and quickly receive it with different touches. Repeat until the process is completed. So this ball mastery workout routine, you can do basic juggling, just did about 50 repetitions. Then I did 2 lengths, back and forth, forward and backwards. Then I moved into single foot juggling. Remember, always working with 2 feet. You no longer have a weak foot, you have 2 strong feet. One just needs a little more practice than the other. After doing the basic juggling on the spot, I moved into that directional control, once again moving forward and backwards with whatever space you have available. Next, I did the fast footwork drills, did about 20 to 30 seconds on the spot, then added the directional component, moving forward and backwards with the ball. After that, we moved into the basic passing against the wall, and then a little bit of freestyle, passing against a wall or a couch, and quickly receiving different touches in different directions and repeating the process. Now, you don't have to do the exact repetitions. These are just recommendations. What's most important is that you're challenging yourself and you're making the training match realistic. After that, I moved into a little bit of strength, and I just took off my shoes because honestly, I had all the windows open and it's the middle of winter and my feet were a little bit cold. So I went into my trainers and I started with some broomstick twists. Now, I love these. These are great for core, transverse abdominals, as well as obliques. So I'm focusing on twisting, and as I twist, I really tighten my abs. I'm not just rotating my body, I'm focusing on squeezing my abs and even holding. Some I'll do a little quickly, some I'll do with a pause. After that, I grabbed a kettlebell and I was doing these exercises for a bit of a warm-up, doing some squats, some straight leg deadlifts to warm up the hamstrings, and I was just doing this to prepare my body for some more intense work coming up. A few single-armed farmer's walks, warming up the core and transverse abdominals. And then I just did a little bit of an upper body pump. Again, these were mainly just for warm-up, but I did them, so I'll put them in here for you to watch as well. So when you're doing strength exercise, it's so important that you're actually focusing on the muscle that you're working. Here, I would recommend that you start with these. Now, if you don't have a weight, it's not an excuse. You can do body weight. You can grab anything that has weight to it. So I don't want you to make excuses. I don't want you to say in the comments, I don't have weights, I don't have a barbell. You have your body, number one. Focus on the form, focus on the technique. That's most important. Then the weight can come in the future, but you can find things. Be creative, find your own weights. Next, I moved into some push-ups. Now, when you're doing push-up, actually focus on squeezing into the chest as you come up. Focus on squeezing your abs. And realistically, most of us need to start with these girly push-ups because we don't even know how to contract our chest properly when we're doing a push-up. Next, I moved into some deadlifts. Now, this is an exercise that I still need to work a lot on, but really focusing on keeping your chest up, not rounding your back and bending over the bar. And when you come up, actually pushing with your feet, pushing up through the ground. The next exercise that I did was a shoulder press. So starting from the clavicle or the neck, pushing all the way straight above the head, even pushing my neck through my shoulder blades a little bit, putting the bar directly above me rather than in front of me. Now, when you're doing this, it's so important that you're actually focusing on tightening your abs and not letting all the tension go into your lower back, because it can actually be a very dangerous exercise. Next, I did some squats, and I'm learning to love the squats. A great exercise. So if you're scared of the squat, really learn to fall in love with it, because it will actually transform your performance on the field as well as your body. Now, it's actually a little easier to have good form when you have that bar on your back, but you can do some body weight exercise squats, and in fact, that's where we should all start. The last exercise I did was just a bicep curl. Yes, I think it's very important to work your upper body as well, even if you are a soccer player, because having full body strength is not only going to make you a better athlete, it's going to help you stay in better physical condition, because the more muscle you have on your body, the more fat you burn naturally. Now, if you want to do the strength training routine, I did some broomstick twists. You could do Russian seated twists. Then I moved into some push-ups, focusing on really squeezing into the chest, keeping your abs tight. Next, we did some deadlifts. Really focus on good form before you get any weight. And remember, guys, if you don't have a barbell, if you don't even have dumbbells, don't make excuses, be creative, or use different exercises. This workout routine is not meant to be followed exactly, it's just an example. Next, we moved into the shoulder press or military press. Did some back squats. You could do body weight squats. Really focus on sitting between your legs, keeping your chest up and your butt down, your abs tight. Finally, we did some bicep curls, and like I said, it's really important to focus on that total body strength. So when you're doing the exercises, technique always first, weight second. Focus on actually squeezing the muscle, putting tension into the muscle that you are specifically working. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it valuable, please remember to like, comment,